In particular, I can simply set 3x equal to this right-hand side of this equation. They're both 3x is equal to y, and this is equal to y, so the right-hand sides here are equal to each other. So what do we get when we actually go ahead and substitute this in? When I combine these, I get 3x equals, I'll write a little bigger, 3x equals negative 1/3 x plus 11. If I multiply through by 3, I'll get rid of this fraction, which I generally like to do because I don't like working with fractions. I have 9x equals negative x plus 33. And it looks like if I add x to both sides, I'll find that x equals 3.3. I add x to both sides and then divide by 10. Maybe I'd rather just leave this as 33/10. So I'm interested in expressing what this point is here. In particular, I can say now that the x-coordinate is 33/10. And the y-coordinate is, well, it's on this line y equals 3x. So the y-coordinate is going to be 99/10. And I suppose just to make sure that I'm happy at this point, I'd like to just take these 2 points and make sure that they're on this equation for Jareth's path. Let's see, if I plug 33/10 in for x, I get negative, let's just do it. I get 99/10 on the left-hand side, and this becomes negative 1/3 times 33/10 plus 11/3. I'm hoping this works out. I'm a little skeptical, to be honest. Let's see, this 33 and this 3, I can change this to 11. This is negative 11/10 plus 11/3. What is negative? So this is 11/3 minus 11/10. I'm quite suspicious of this. I guess if I add 11/10 to both sides, then over here, I don't think this works out. Am I crazy? Things aren't behaving the way that I thought. Let me just run back through my logic and see whether I feel crazy here. So let me first look at this and see whether I'm happy saying that this is Jareth's path. If I plug in these 2 points, do I actually find this equation to hold true? If I plug in this point, I get that 1 equals negative 8/3 plus 11/3. I'm happy about that. And if I plug in this point, I get that 4 equals 1/3 plus 11/3. I'm happy about that too. So I'm happy about my equation for Jareth's path. Am I happy about my equation for the perpendicular? Yes. The slope is perpendicular to the slope of this, and this perpendicular does go through the origin, so I'm happy about both of these things. Am I happy about my algebra after I put them together? I have 3x is equal to negative 1/3 x. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I still feel good about this 33/10, 99/10. Maybe I'm just going crazy with this and this actually does work out. This is a constant feeling in working these types of questions. The reason that we draw pictures and check our work so many times is that there's lots of opportunities for algebra to betray us. We have to be very careful to avoid mistakes, and when we find that we've made mistakes, it's often quite frustrating to track them down. You're probably watching this at home thinking, oh, Paul, it's right there. But in the moment when you're looking for them, they can be quite tough to find. So one more time, just running through my logic, checking whether I'm crazy. This is what I found for my equation for Jareth's path. If I plug in 8, 1, I find something that's true. If I plug in -1, 4, I also find something that's true. To find the slope of the perpendicular, you take the reciprocal and change the sign. I'm happy with my slope of the perpendicular. I can't seem to find any problems with my work here, although I can tell there must be one. The reason I say that there must be one is because supposedly this is the point that's on Jareth's path that is closest to the origin, but from what I can tell, this point isn't actually on Jareth's path. In an exam setting, I would likely cut my losses at this point. I would write a little comment saying, I know that this is not actually the correct point because it's not behaving the way that it's supposed to, but I'm going to try solving the rest of the question as if this was the right point. I'm baffled. I got nothing. That is the equation for the line that Jareth travels on. When I plug in those 2 points, it works. So it is the right equation. So I found my error, which, as usual, is painfully obvious once you find it. I had that this was the equation for Jareth's path, and I had that this was the equation for the perpendicular. And when I set them equal to each other, I just screwed up this 11/3.